So, good afternoon. How many times have people told you, act your age? Well, at 81, you really don't want to act your age. But I think today I finally have done it. I just got through making 3 spice mixes. And I had the recipes all written down, and I can find 2 of the recipes, and I was going to tell you how I made it. And you know, it's really nice to be able to make your own spice mixes. It's economical, for one thing, but you know what you put in it. You don't have some little strange ingredient that you don't want, like MSG and who knows what else. And when I did this, I have this cute little frying pan. The only thing it ever does is dry roast my herbs, my spices. And so I did that. My kitchen still smells nice from doing it. But I want to tell you some of the things that I put in and what I did. And you know, these herbs and spices that we use are more than just good flavoring. They're really little bursts of goodness and a package of really helpful, nutritious things. And so I thought I'd tell you a little bit about coriander and cumin and oregano. And you know, coriander is the one I really love. And in this spice mix, I made like a curry mix, and it has coriander in it. When I got all through, I had a little coriander left. So each of these, even though it wasn't intended to be, have a little ground coriander in it also, that I roasted and ground. And I call this my coffee grinder, but actually it's only ground spices in it, not coffee. I should call it my spice grinder. Okay, and coriander helps for diabetes and is a traditional remedy for indigestion, diabetes, rheumatism, and pain in the joints. A noted team of researchers have been testing it, and they found it decreased blood sugar levels and increased insulin, the hormone that controls the blood sugar. And it does other things. That's just not one thing it does, but it does other things. Insomnia, it helps with, it doesn't give you insomnia, it helps prevent it. Okay, so, and besides that, I just love the little taste, the taste of it. Okay, cumin. Cumin is not one of my favorites, but it goes so well with these other spices. Researchers have found that cumin can help post-menopausal women from losing their bone and seems to be a potential candidate for the development of a new herbal approaches for osteoporosis treatment without any serious effects, not defects, effects. Some of the things that cumin may help or prevent are cancer, diabetes 2, food poisoning, and some other things. But both coriander and cumin help against food poisoning. And actually, those were some of the first reasons they used these spices in their meats and their cooking, because they didn't have the refrigeration that we do. And even today, it's very helpful because we don't know always how our meat is handled. Even our organic meat, if we haven't handled it ourselves, we really don't know. And so it helps with that too. So it has a really good purpose in our cooking. And then this was an Italian spice that I made. That's the one I cannot find Oh yes, I can. That's this one. The one I can't find is my hot spicy mix, but I'll sort of tell you what's in it. Okay, anyway, this was my Italian one, and this one I didn't roast any of the herbs that are in it, and because of that, they're just in there like herbs, and it would be better if they were in a dark jar, but I'm running out of those. And it has 3 tablespoons of dried oregano, 2 tablespoons of thyme, 1 tablespoon of marjoram, 2 teaspoons of rosemary. I grew that in my garden and dried it. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then when I go to use this, and I have a little note, and it goes in this jar, that when I use it, I want to go out and get some fresh basil, and I want to get a little bit of sage and add to it. And so that will go with, all sorts of tomato sauces that I want, sort of an Italian flavor to it. Now this one that I've looked all over, and I stuck it someplace when I was done. It has paprika in it. I believe 2 tablespoons of paprika. It has oregano, thyme, some garlic, and cayenne. So this is sort of a Italian one that has more of a kick and more of a spice to it. And also, even though I put garlic powder in them, when I cook with fresh garlic that I've grown in my garden. So I'm going to get a double dose, you might say, but it's a good flavor. And then just for fun, these recipes, I think one came out of this book, I'm not sure, and one just came online. So you can find recipes all over. But this book that I recommend, Healing Spices, it tells spices that go together. And being that I really like coriander, I picked that, and then I thought, well, I'm going to pick the spices that go with it and make my own spice mix. So this is what I did. It has 2 tablespoons of dry roasted coriander that I ground up. It has about 1.5 tablespoons of cumin that I roasted. Okay, it has also about 2 teaspoons of roasted fennel seed ground up. It has the garlic powder in it. It has about 2 teaspoons of ginger, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, and anytime you use turmeric, you should do black pepper. So I ground up my black pepper sort of coarse, and that's in there also. And did I say the garlic powder? It has garlic powder too. So those were my spice mixes, and it's fun to do. And just get some nice, good organic spices and make your own. And like I say, you can find recipes online. You could buy this book, Healing Spices, and the man's name is Aggarwal, and Yost. The 2 of them wrote it together. And really informative. And there'll be spices in here that you'll never use, but most of them are common and that you'll probably want to know about. So I'm going to leave you with that, and just spice up your life. And I don't know if you want to act your age or not. That's up to you. But I don't want to act my age.